So, how does an institution that's been around for centuries connect with a generation of digital natives? It's a huge question, right? Well, today on The Explainer, we're diving into a really bold new plan from the Catholic Archdiocese of Kuala Lumpur. They're looking to completely rethink how they engage with young people. And they've laid out a new pastoral direction for 2026 all the way to 2028.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it down. We're going to look at why this is happening, what exactly is changing, and, how they're planning to pull it all off. We'll start with the big why behind the change. Then, really tune into what young people themselves are saying. And finally, we'll unpack the new structure they've designed to make all these ideas a reality.
All right, first up, the shift. So, what's really the driving force behind all this? Let's get right into the core challenge that the Archdiocese is trying to tackle here. And this is really the million-dollar question, isn't it? In a world where we're all technically more connected than ever before, a lot of young people feel more spiritually disconnected, more fragmented. The old ways of doing things, that kind of top-down ministry, just isn't hitting home anymore. And the church gets it. They know they have to evolve. And what this all boils down to is a massive shift in mindset. I mean, a huge one. It's about moving away from just creating programs for young people and instead actually journeying with them. The whole focus is shifting from just planning events on a calendar to fostering real personal connections and meaningful encounters. Now, this entire plan is built around a really important concept, a word you're going to hear a lot: synodal. It sounds kind of churchy, but all it really means is journeying together. It's about creating a culture of listening, of dialogue, where everyone, and especially young people, actually has a voice and a shared sense of responsibility. And this isn't just an idea that popped up in Kuala Lumpur. Nope. This is part of a global conversation happening inside the Catholic Church, echoing what came out of the 2018 Synod on Young People. The message is really simple, but it's also profound. Listen more, lecture less, and actually truly walk alongside the younger generation. Okay, so where did this new direction even come from? Well, it wasn't cooked up in some boardroom. It actually grew from the ground up through a very intentional process of just listening. The whole foundation for this strategy was this huge listening exercise that was tied to the Malaysian Catholic Youth Day. And this wasn't just some one-off event. We're talking about a nationwide effort to genuinely hear the real joys, the struggles, the hopes of young Malaysian Catholics, straight from them, in their own words. And out of all that listening, 4 really clear themes started to emerge. These became the absolute pillars for the new plan. Young people are asking for real, authentic mentors, not just leaders. They're crying out for safe communities where they can just belong. They want a faith that connects to their actual everyday lives. And, this one is huge, they want to be trusted with real responsibility in the church. All right, so you've done all this listening. Now what? How do you turn all those voices into an actual, concrete structure? Let's take a look at the new blueprint, which is really designed to be more like an interconnected ecosystem than some rigid, top-down hierarchy. So it all starts right at the local level, from the ground up, in the parish. The parish is now seen as the main home base, a kind of pastoral ecosystem, where young people, whether they're students or young working adults, can find that sense of belonging and really take an active part in what's going on. Next, the plan zooms in on those really critical campus years. I mean, for so many students, this is a massive time of change and figuring out who you are. So the Archdiocesan Catholic Student Council, or the ACSC, is designed to act like a bridge, creating this support network across different universities to make sure students don't get lost in the shuffle and stay connected to their faith community. And this is where you see how all those different voices come together. The Archdiocesan Young People Council, the AYPC, basically acts as the central hub for all that listening we talked about. It brings together leaders from both the parishes and the campuses, making sure that big decisions are made with young people, not just for them. This is what co-responsibility really looks like in action. So the whole flow is designed to be this dynamic, living loop. It kicks off with the AYPC, that's the main Archdiocesan Council, doing the listening to create a vision. Then the campus council takes that vision and turns it into concrete action. And finally, the parish ministries are where it all gets lived out in daily life, creating a genuine sense of communion. See how it all connects? Okay, having a great structure on paper is one thing, but a plan is only as good as its execution, right? So how is this new ecosystem actually going to be supported and brought to life?
Well, to make this whole thing work, the plan includes 4 really key support systems. And this isn't just about fluffy ideas, we're talking about practical tools. This means proper training for mentors, a huge focus on creating genuinely safe spaces, better digital tools to keep everyone connected, and really clear pathways for young people to grow and step into leadership roles.
And they're not just throwing this all at the wall to see what sticks. There's a clear 3-year roadmap to roll it all out. So 2026 is all about building these new councils. Then, in 2027, they'll start testing the model with pilot projects. And by 2028, they'll hold a big assembly to really evaluate what's working and figure out the next steps. It's this constant cycle of recognizing what's needed, interpreting it, and then choosing the best path forward.
So, at the end of the day, what's the big picture here? What's the ultimate goal of all these changes? What does success actually look like? And why should this matter to the whole community?
Well, the ultimate goal is to foster a healthier, more vibrant church. And the hoped-for outcomes are super clear. Getting more young people actually involved in making decisions, raising up leaders who are focused on service, providing better support for people at every stage of their journey, and, this is absolutely critical, creating a safer ministry culture for everyone. You know, when you boil it all down, this whole renewal is really an answer to this call from Pope Francis. It's about way more than just rearranging the furniture internally. It's about modeling a completely different way of being a community, one that's built on accompaniment and genuine warmth, which can be a pretty powerful thing for the rest of the world to see. So this plan offers a blueprint for one community, but it really leaves all of us with a powerful question to think about. Whether you're part of this community or not, what does walking together actually look like where you are? What's maybe one small step you could take even this week to listen a little better and help build a warmer, more connected community? Thanks for tuning into The Explainer.